Good morning, everyone. 'Twas the Friday before Christmas, the 22nd, and if you haven't started your Christmas shopping yet, may I give you a suggestion? $8 on Amazon, the Magical Mullets coloring book. I mean, it might not get here for Christmas, but it will brighten every day, bring meaning to everyone's life. And it's, good behavioral therapy for those of us who, get bad haircuts all the time. Good morning, Eris. Thank you for doing all the mod things. Good morning, Sarah Adams and Veilhammer Media, and Christine, and Jess. Well, so it has all sorts. It really is quite the best thing I've ever seen, which, I did get the people of Walmart. So it's got, you know, the Fee Mullet, the Banana Split, you know, Good Morning Alternate Juror, the Baby Mullet. It has the wonderful world of mullets. So if you're looking for a late Christmas gifts, I'm just saying, adult coloring book. If you are unsure about the people of Walmart, Magical Mullets, the coloring book, $8 on Amazon. You're welcome. Good morning, Kim. Yes, there are people of Walmart coloring books. I do have them. Now, where past me put the people of Walmart coloring book is anyone's guess. But when I find it again, I will show it to you guys. People of Walmart coloring book is available on Amazon. I know Amazon is an evil corporate, entity, but they do have good adult coloring books for a fairly okay price. So it's like help evil Jeff Bezos get a fluffy white cat to become Dr. Evil, or, go to a local bookstore and people. It's one of those things. Good morning, Spirit Matter. So, it is Friday. Fry is, of course, in his napping. Yes. Again, if you ever feel bad about yourself, look, I have many things on the list. I really am. I introduced you to Timu. I apologize greatly. In fact, I have been told I no longer can be a little bit tipsy or inebriated and buy things anymore, because apparently Tipsy Me was encouraged by the website I get, or the app I get my wigs from. They were having 15% off and then 35% cash back. So did I buy wigs? Yes, I did. Did Mr. Mo look at what I bought and said, you're not allowed to have the credit card anymore when you are tipsy? Yes, I did. I was told I was no longer allowed to tipsy buy, which is probably good, because even though Tipsy Me still finds a bargain. Oh, we definitely have to do a Romy and Michelle's high school reunion, because I love Romy and Michelle's high school reunion. I always thought I was Janine Garofalo, but I suddenly realized that I haven't gone back to my high school reunions because I still haven't invented Post-its. But if I become a big giant YouTuber, oh hell yes, I'm coming back to my whatever year reunion is going back. Not that I had really anyone who was terribly mean to me. Okay. Well, now I don't feel so bad, Kim, because I felt really bad when Mr. Mo told me this morning how much I had spent. I was like, ooh, I'm a terrible person. And no one was really a jerk face to me in high school. I just was awkward and antisocial. I know you're shocked. It's like, how could this ever happen? Neither do I, but I think that's because people really don't know where I am. Look, I haven't stayed in touch with people from high school because Oh, well, I felt embarrassed because I definitely put out, look, in my defense, I bought the Brahmi shirts, so they're like a half shirt, and you're supposed to be able to wear them without a bra, but they're supposed to still give you a support. But let's say that Tipsy Me yesterday, doing the Wendy Adelson interview, did not realize how boobagey they were. So when I put myself full screen, I was like, hello, cleavage. How are you? Good morning, Sunny. So I was like, oh, okay, we're not going for e-thoughtery here. We are going for, slightly more sexy, but not. Good morning, Billy Marie. Hope you have a wonderful last day of work before the holidays. That is, we all have our things. So, and I felt so bad. So, Mr. Mo is such a good husband, and all he wanted me to get at Walmart today when I went to run to get Pops was coffee. And do you want to know what I forgot, even though I had it underlined and bolded 3 times? Coffee. Do you know what I did pick up? New streaming lights for myself. At least I got the stuff to make the tacos and the cheese dip, and I remembered other things, but the coffee, the one thing I was supposed to get, absolutely not. No, no, it was like sparkly things and candles on sale, and I was just gone, just out. But let's get at least a little on track. So, our first story is about Vin Diesel. Now, I thought we were over Me Too, but apparently Vin Diesel has been accused of SA or, bad behavior by one of his former assistants during Fast and Furious 5. Now, aren't they on like Fast and Furious 45? Vin Diesel is old now? I don't know. Yes, on track. No. Sorry, I need to enunciate better. No, in true effery, New York Post always puts videos that have nothing to do with whatever story. No, he is alleged to have assaulted his assistant who was working with him on Fast and Furious 5. Now, I have never watched any of the Fast and Furious movies. I don't know if that pulls me out of the millennial category and puts me firmly into the Gen X category, because if so, I'm okay with that. Let's see. So Vin Diesel categorically denies former assistant's lawsuit in which she accuses the Fast and Furious star. I'm surprised they didn't put Chronicles of Riddick star, which is actually a movie I have watched, and I was actually okay with it. Of sexual battery stemming from an alleged incident that took place in September 2010. Now, here's my issue, and this is going to sound weird coming from another lady. And I'm not trying to victim blame or anything like that, but there is a window in which you can, I think, reasonably accuse someone. And I'm not saying, I understand there are reasons. He is an actor. There's a power dynamic, whether you believe you're not going to be believed or not. But I am getting a little tired of these, 13-year-old claims, that seem to happen. Again, I encourage my daughters that if anything happens to them, regardless of how hard it is to step forward, to do it at that time, because that's when you'll be able to gather evidence. That's when the police will be able to corroborate your story. That is when if this person has done this terrible thing to you, that is when we will be able to prove it as well as we can. Because right now, this has been used. There have been women that are terrible that have used these sort of allegations for nefarious purposes to, push an agenda forward, to lie about men that, they just didn't like, to, attack men. Now, I'm not saying not all, hashtag not all women, but I am I am getting a little tired of these Hollywood women waiting 13, 14, 15. Oh gosh, that crazy woman for Donald Trump, 27 years. It's just, it's getting a little old. I give so much credit to the women who immediately go in or during the time. It's just, I'm so irritated with this. In a bombshell lawsuit obtained Thursday by Vanity Fair, Diesel's assistant Asta Johansson, or I'm going to go Johansson or Janssen, claims the actor, whose real name is Mark Sinclair, invited her to his suite at the St. Regis Hotel in Atlanta after coming back from the club with a hostess. Also, women. How old is this? How old was this assistant in 2010? You cannot tell me that you are so naive. You just got off like the pumpkin truck from, Piedmont, North Dakota, and you didn't realize that if you guys had been at the club and he was probably inebriated and he invited you up to his room, that there weren't several expectations there. I mean, look, regardless, if you said no, he should have stopped. But don't, play this, oh my gosh, I just went upstairs and I thought we were going to talk about like tiddlywinks, or I thought we were going to, play Jenga. I had no idea he expected smexy times. Ma'am, have you read any smexy books? Have you watched any after school specials? I mean, what is going on here? Once the other woman left, Johansson alleges that the Triple X star grabbed her by the wrist and pulled her onto the bed. Despite her pleas to stop, allegedly, Diesel, 56, allegedly proceeded to grope her and kiss her. Johansson had recently graduated from the Los Angeles Film School program. Okay, then you have been in Los Angeles for long enough to understand. I'm sorry. I am so tired of. Yeah, okay. Ma'am, I'm so tired of these actresses acting like the casting couch had never happened. Ma'am, if Marilyn Monroe was talking about the casting couch way back when, I'm gonna need y'all to stop acting like you're new, like you're a new hire, like you just fell off again. You know, the Tato truck from Idaho. All right, I'm about done with this. And was hired to work for Diesel's production company One Race while Fast Five was in production. Her job reportedly consisted of organizing parties, accompanying the pacifier star to parties, and ensuring she was in close proximity to him while he was photographed alongside other women who were not his longtime girlfriend. Miss Johansson was afraid to more forcibly refuse her supervisor, knowing that getting him out of that room was both crucial to her personal safety. Sure. Well, so apparently she saw his erectness. Now, Diesel allegedly started to love himself, which terrified Johnson. She closed her eyes, trying to disassociate from this activity, and that, of course, and to avoid, angering him, according to the docs. After being on the job only 2 weeks, I'm going to say Johansson claims Diesel's sister and the president of his film company, Samantha Vincent, called to fire her. It was clear to her she was being fired because she was no longer useful. Vin Diesel had used her to fulfill his smexy desires, and she had resisted his sexy, overtures. The suit reportedly says. What do you want to bet that My guess is that she didn't do things. I'm sorry. No, again, I'm going to start being like this because I've seen too many, Harvard mattress girl, the, Duke lacrosse team, freaking all the chicks that were so shocked about Harvey Weinstein when everyone done knew about it, okay? To the point that Seth MacFarlane made fun of it. You know, so Vin Diesel categorically denies this claim. It's the first time he's ever heard about this in more than 13 years, made purportedly by a 9-day employee. There's a clear evidence which completely refutes these outlandish allegations. Johansson is also suing for discrimination based on sex and gender, intentional infliction of emotional distress, a hostile work environment, wrongful termination, and retaliation. Sure. The suit accuses Diesel and One Race of attempting to cover up the alleged incident and said Johansson has suffered and continues to suffer humiliation, emotional distress, mental and physical pain, and anguish. Okay, I'm going to say something here that's going to be really, really controversial. And I'm not trying to be an ass. And I don't mean this to sound unloving, but pull your big girl panties up. Okay? You don't think I wanted to lie on the damned floor and give up when I had, I was 24 and lost my husband, lost my house because he wasn't paying the mortgage, and all of that went to what was an addiction. And I had, a 5-month-old and a 2-year-old. Yeah, I could play the PTSD card. I could play the, poor me card, but I pulled my big girl panties up and I got up and I dealt with it, okay? Now, ma'am, if this happened anywhere beyond your head, I am sorry. But you either wallow, which granted, I have spent the last 2 years doing, and I'm getting a little tired of myself. So next year, I'm going to stop wallowing because it's kind of ridiculous. You're what, 24 now, 25? You have a whole lot of living left to do. If you want to wallow, that's fine. But you're going to find that, your life is forever shadowed by this, or you can again pull your big old panties up and maybe start looking at things without that lens of terrible, poor meism. Get out there and start helping other people. Look beyond yourself. Look, is it easy? Hell no. Absolutely hell no, it's not. There are some days that you're going to be like, I just need to make it through the next 5 minutes. I just need to make it through the next minute. I just need to make it through the next 30 seconds. And you're going to do that all throughout the day. And look, that's fine. You do that. But you keep playing the victim and your life is going to victimize you. Okay? And it's not a good way to live. And look, like I said, I done wallowed for 2 years from the stupid diagnosis. And looking at it now, I have wasted 2 years of my life, wallowing in self-pity. And I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm going to pull on my big girl panties one leg at a time, probably sitting down because I don't have any balance anymore. And I'm going to go live my life and do what I can. And I'm going to look at what I can do and how I can help others and, what opportunities I do have. But you want to keep this going. And if it happened, I'm sorry. But you got a whole lot of life to live. If you want this to forever color it, then this is going to be a long set of life you're going to live. I know. So excited about this. I may never stop that. Well, Yes, it is a Sailor Moon Christmas sweater because I am a giant nerd. And so I got it from fun.com. They have all sorts. They've got Lord of the Rings, all sorts of other stuff. So if you are looking for sweaters, and it's very good quality, they make it themselves. So I got the super huge size because I like just comfy clothes. I think it was $30. So, but that's just my advice. You are free to take it or not take it. But, again, listen to that inner voice. I don't know why the hell you would go up to a room with an inebriated man, you know. Yeah, that's really good. I tell my kids they can wallow in a problem for a day or two, but they have to start moving forward. Yeah, it was some of the hardest advice I ever got was the exact advice I just gave because I wanted to wallow big time. And someone told me this is going to sound real hateful, but this is what I'm going to tell you. And, that's it's not it's not the advice you want to hear. It's definitely not, but you've got a choice on how you want to deal with this. You can be a victim or you can be a victor. So, again, ladies, you have an inner voice. If a situation seems sketchy as hell, then don't do it. I don't care if he's your boss. Don't. You have that inner voice for a reason. Years and years and years and years of biology have given us this inner voice, this little lizard brain. Pay attention to it. Do not try to people please. You are not here to people please everyone. If you think a situation is sketch as hell, run. And we all have that one crazy ride or die chick friend who will be right there. Or your mom. I've told the girls, no matter what, like, I don't care if it is 1 o'clock in the morning and you feel that sketch feeling, I will be in my car driving. I don't care where it is. You need to call the cops because you got a sketch family or feeling, you call. I don't care if you, whatever it is. But waiting 13 years, I'm getting a little tired of this. Now, in happier news, I know, I know. Like, I'm the friend that we're going to be sitting together in the jail. We have to call Mr. Moe to bail us out and be like, what did y'all do? I was like, well, look, here's what had happened was we were going to play Thelma and Louise, but the minivan did not jump over the culvert as well as the canyon, if you will. The cops are a little upset with us. We were like, Tawanda. In odder news, I'm not going to look at this, but apparently there is an AI death calculator that can predict when you're going to die. Because why not? AI.
Let's not all panic at once.
I know Professor Farnsworth made one of these, so life imitating Futurama is always great. This is a matter of life and death, no doubt about it. New York Times, I am joining a civil lawsuit against your puns. Although most folks aren't in a massive rush to learn when they're going to bite the big one, a newly developed AI death calculator can now forecast when a person will die with eerie exact accuracy. We use technology behind ChatGPT, something called transformer models, to analyze human lives by representing each person as a sequence of events that happen in their life. Sunyi Lehman, head author of December 2023 study, quote, using sequence of life events to predict human lives, told the Post. This is from the New York Times, and I believe it's It might be it's from the tech section. In the report, the professor of the Network and Complex Systems from Technical University of Denmark and co-authors introduce an algorithm known as Life2Vec, which uses select details from an individual's life, including income, profession, residence, health history, to determine life expectancy with 78% correctness. No, look, I'm gonna put all my life events in, and it's gonna say, "Ma'am, are you already dead? Like you've got a lot of trauma here." I'm like, "Yes, I suffer from current dramatic syndrome." I'm just dramatic about everything. Yeah, like we need to give Skynet the reasons that we all pass away. Seriously. Quote, we use the fact that in a certain sense, human lives share a similarity with language, exclaimed Lehman. Just like words follow each other in sentences, events follow each other in human lives. Slightly different than ChatGPT, the ever buzzy bot that tech wizards have employed to help land their dream jobs, or even curate the perfect outfit. I am not letting Skynet pick my outfit. Life2Vec can compute the life outcomes of a man or woman by closely examining their past. This model can predict almost anything, Lehman told the Post, noting that his research team also used the specialized program to foretell people's personalities and decisions to make international moves. Can it tell me why I went into a room because I just done forgot? Like I just walked about 3 steps and now I cannot remember why I'm in my bathroom. I don't have to pee, so that is not why, but I had an intention as to why I was walking in there. Because that's what we really need. I don't need to know when I'm going to croak. I need to know why I walked into a room that I can't remember. It'll be like, "Hey, jackass, you're here because you were going to, put on mascara." And I'll be like, "Thanks, ChatGPT. Awesome." You'd be like, "Do you still not want to know when you're going to die?" "Nope, just wanted to know why I was in the bathroom. Thank you so much. Have a good day." "Are you going to tip me?" "Hell no, you're a computer." This is why the Skynet doesn't like me. We predict death because it's something people have worked on for many years. For example, insurance companies, he added. So we had a good sense of what was possible. Lehman's troupe examined a heterogeneous subject population of 6 million Danish people who varied in sex and age between 2008 and 2020. The analyst used Life2Vec to discover which of the subjects would likely live for at least 4 years beyond January 1st, 2016. Well, I think she's figured out that she's still alive. I don't know. It's stock footage. 2023. Oh my God, can we get this AI to write our papers for us? 2025. Get in the battery meat bag, pretty much. Let's see. The scale of our data set allows us to construct sequence level representation of individual human life trajectories, which detail how each person moves through time. This sounds like math, and I think math is close to witchcraft. So I think these guys are witches. Just saying. We can observe how individual lives evolve in a space of diverse life event types. Information about a heart attack is mixed with salary increases, information about moving from an urban to rural area, for example. Researchers fed the AI-specific information on each study participant using plain language, such as in September 2012, Francisco received 20,000 Danish kroner as a guard at Castle Elsinore. During her 3rd year at secondary boarding school, Hermione also had 5 elective classes. No, Hermione was trying to teach Ron, who she should never have gotten married to, Wingardium Leviosa. No. You want to talk about a marriage that would have ended in divorce? He is dumb as a box of rocks, and she is way smart. She would have Avada Kedavra'd him in like 5 seconds when they had kids, and he's like, "Babe, I don't even understand how to do these diapers for the 50th time." No, I'm not. I just think Hermione would have lived alone and become like the manager of magic or whatever the hell it is. I don't look, her and Ron, look, I'm against ginger men. I'm sorry. I have a thing against them. Mario Batali, I just he ruined it for me. So I'm afraid Ron gets lumped in. Ron was done dirty in the movies. I will say that. So there you go. If you would like to find out when you're gonna croak, there's an app for that. God dang it. In other news as to can we send these people directly to Snake Island? Teens suspected of, quote, laughing and enjoying themselves, end quote, as they viciously beat a dad of three outside Kroger now face murder charges after the victim died a week before Christmas. Again, y'all, I'm telling you what. I'm telling you what. This is why I'm not a judge, because I'd go old school. I'd gather the family up of the victim and I'd say, there are 10 minutes that will be missing from this video, allegedly in the prison. The guards are going to go to sleep. I'm just kidding. No, I wouldn't. Maybe. Snake Island. I can't. 3 Ohio teens were charged with murder on Wednesday, 2 days after a father of three died from head injuries he suffered from an attack in early December outside a Kroger supermarket in Columbus. I thought testosterone levels were going way down in the West to the point where the average 24-year-old I think has testosterone levels of an 80-year-old in the 30s. So how are we getting this much rage? Seriously. The amount of soy that is in our diet. Yeah, Harry became insufferable in the 5th book. He was just, but all teens are insufferable. And that's what you have to remember. Good morning, Bobby. Well, I guess they haven't been eating soy because apparently their testosterone levels were not reduced. On the night of December 6th, Jamarion Ferdari Evans Benet, hyphenated, 19, Deantana Devon Hughes, and a 17-year-old male allegedly had a fight with shoppers inside the Kroger. And I apologize for any mispronunciation, but look, phonetics is hard. Inside the Kroger on South High Street. According to the Columbus Police Department, when the store security told the teens to leave, they waited outside for 53-year-old Donald Donnie Smith Jr. to exit the store before they attacked him. The defendants, who are allegedly spotted laughing and enjoying themselves while fatally stomping, kicking, and punching Smith outside the store at around 7 p.m., went on to flee the scene when an armed witness confronted them. Well, I'm glad that there was someone to stop the attack. But again, this is not Hollywood, people. If you stomp on someone's head, that is attempted murder. I don't care if you are, if you think, oh, it's just I was just fighting, or it was just, no, the head is incredibly fragile. Stop watching, frickin' Hollywood. Quote, when the victim was on the ground, the suspects continued to punch, kick, and stomp the victim. The victim was unconscious and bleeding from the head area, said an affidavit of probable cause obtained by Law and Crime. A witness with a firearm yelled at the suspects to stop the assault. The suspects then fled across the parking lot. This witness stated the suspects were laughing and enjoying themselves while assaulting the victim. Look, Gen Pop justice better come right quick, allegedly. Oh, yeah, congratulations. I have a story, or Yamaha. I did not know. As I said, I have, not allegedly, but self-admittedly been wallowing the last, year and a half. So I am going to get out of my own little pity party and start paying attention and being much more engaged. So congratulations, Yamaha biker. I am so happy for you. That is awesome. I'm so glad. I love seeing our little group grow and see how it's evolved and how many people are, starting their own channels and getting into this. It's just really, really cool. And I am so happy. That is just awesome. Okay, and he's not looking, but this is what happens every day. The youngest, most feral thinks that El Doggo would like to look at the pad with him. So they sit and they'll watch the pad together for hours. Because so he was injured so severely that he had internal swelling to his brain. So they tried to do surgery to relieve the swelling. Generally, they can take, part of the skull off or, take off, add a shunt or something. But it just did not happen. And he was pronounced passed away just a week before Christmas. And he has 2 young children. His wife has no money for funeral costs. So what I can tell you is that having kind of been through this, the county can sometimes help with funeral costs at least. So that's good. And generally, Social Security for the children and stuff, they will try to get you in as close. It does say that, let me see if there is a GoFundMe. In an interview with local ABC affiliate WSYK, Nicole Evans said she is devastated and sick to her stomach over Donnie's death. It's just sickening, and I cannot believe you would take another person's life, she said. It was a random act of violence. Evans said that Smith was a great father who loved his kids, family, and friends. I don't know how you could just take another person's life so senselessly, she said, revealing that her 6-year-old daughter has begun to realize her father can't go to the park or draw with her anymore. Donnie Smith's family said that the father of 2 sons and 1 daughter and grandfather to 1 granddaughter died on December 18th, 1 week before Christmas. Smith loved race cars, softball, sports, his obituary said. Franklin County records reviewed by Law and Crime show that Evans, Benet, and Hughes were arrested Wednesday and had arraignments scheduled for Thursday morning. The third suspect is a minor that was arrested the same day as his co-defendants. It's unclear at this time if the 17-year-old will be charged as an adult. I haven't seen where there is a fundraiser, but let me write down the name of... I've been cleaning out my desk and trying to do that whole, decluttering, setting myself up for positivity. If I find a GoFundMe, I will try to link that in the description on this video if you guys feel compelled to help at any way. What I can tell you is that there is Social Security assistance. The mother and the children will get stuff will get help from Social Security. Not that that brings the father back in any way. And she has the unique drawback of her children being old enough to understand that dad is now gone. But these guys need to go straight to Snake Island. I am done having patience with people. I really am. Yes, the wife and the spouse and the son and the kids will get death benefits. So it won't replace the father. Nothing will. And she'll need a lot of help right now. And hopefully she's getting that, and hopefully this family can just survive this holiday. I mean, that's basically all they're going to be doing. Ta-da. Apparently, there is a new addictive nut going around, and it's bad for you because, of course, everything that's addictive is bad for you. I'd never heard of this, but I am going to look when I get off of the stream at the local news channel. So it is WSYX in Columbus, Ohio. So I am going to see if they have any information about a GoFundMe, because this article from Law and Crime does not have anything about that. David Tiam, a civil servant in Port Moresby, the capital of Papua New Guinea, always starts his day the same way. He takes a bite of a green, unripe nut along with the inflorescence of a pepper plant and some white powder, mainly made up of slaked lime. Then he chews the mixture. You know, anything that makes your mouth look like that, I'm going to go ahead and say no. But, I mean, I can't say much as I have a diet pop and I do vape. So, sir, I cannot. Best comment ever. Let's see. With it opens your eyes and makes you awake and brings your senses to life. If you have to eat slaked lime, which sounds like the stuff that you pour over bodies that you've possibly unalived and are going to put in your basement, unless I'm thinking of, so without betel nuts during my office hours, I'm done for the day. Betel nut is not well known in the Western world, but this addictive nut, which grows on the Arcana palm, is regarded as the world's fourth most widely used psychoactive substance after caffeine, nicotine, and alcohol. Y'all, I have never heard of this. According to oft quoted but uncertain estimates, 600 million people, including Tiam, regularly chew it. That global production of the nut has more than doubled in the last 20 years, suggesting this chewing habit is undoubtedly widespread and becoming more popular. Consumers are found on the Indian subcontinent in South Asia and Malaysia. No, it's Malaysia. Areas where the tradition of chewing the nut has a history dating back thousands of years. I've never heard of this, but I mean, if this is something that is highly addictive and possibly cancerous, I could see this being brought over here. Chewing styles vary widely. In India, the world's leading producer, it is sold in ready-made, mass-manufactured packages containing mixtures of the nut, slaked lime, and various flavors, often tobacco. Among the Chamorro people of the Mariana Islands, on the other hand, it is chewed and ingested without additives, mature and hard. Phrasing. But no matter how the nut is consumed, it gets the same mild, warming feeling of euphoria and alertness. I mean, I'm not saying we could make a killing in America. I'm just kidding. That's what has made it so popular. There's no mistaking that David TM likes the betel nuts. He carries around the day's ration in a plastic bag, and on his light colored shirt, there are stains of the red salvia he constantly has to spit out when he chews the betel nut mixture. Like many in Papua New Guinea, he started chewing the betel nuts when he was 3 or 4 years old. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. I just saw people and I saw that it was the fourth most addicted thing, and I thought, hey, I do not cover things from around the world all the time, so I'm going to cover that. We're growing up with a betel nut culture. We start eating hard food. We also start chewing. It's always been a part of me, he said. The addiction means that some days he can buy up to 40 nuts, a big expense. Frequent work trips to non-chewing countries can be problematic. The first thing he does when he arrives in a new country is locate those who sell the nuts. When I was in Dubai, I found Indians I could buy from at an inflated price. When I went to Berlin, I smuggled the nuts, but the stock only lasted a week. But the delight of chewing comes with a price. In another part of the betel nut consuming world in the Western Pacific lies the Northern Mariana Islands. In 2018, American otolaryngology head and neck surgeon William Moss arrived there for a job at the local hospital. He could hardly believe what he saw. I noticed right away that there was a pattern of oral cancer, and they weren't like that of the Western world. Patients would come in at a later stage of the disease. They were overall younger. The outcomes were terrible, and the incidence of it was just through the roof. It's totally disproportionate, he said. Already in the beginning of the last century, medical professionals in India began to suspect a connection between the betel nuts and cancer. Well, of course. Maybe it's because you mix them with tobacco. I mean, I I is not trying to be a jackass, but if you mix, yeah, you know, as a dude, if I don't know that I'd say no to Catherine Zeta Jones, but I would call her a hoe if she gave me oral cancer from doing that. I'm just saying. No, I think the nut is red, and or they're actually, or actually it's the lime that they're using. They're using slaked lime with these nuts. So I don't know if it's actually the nut or it's the tobacco and the lime that they're using with it. But they are making this, so it seems to have very, very bad outcomes. I don't know. But perhaps. Now, here's the problem, though. Again, this is something culturally that's been around for forever. You're not going to, it's going to be a hard sell to change culture. So it's going to be very, very hard to change the culture if cultures have developed around this nut. The selling of this nut is a, pretty high cash crop, and you are in a poor or developing nation, people are not going to stop selling this. So there you go. If you want to travel, make sure you don't get any of these, very addictive nuts. And don't chew them. Never chew your nuts. All right, this douchebag. This douchebag, I'd be okay if we strapped him to a wheelchair and allegedly for science dropped him down the stairs, because I'm all about creative justice as a non-judge. But here you go. Carson Briere Son of Flyers GM learns his fate after tossing woman's wheelchair down the stairs at a bar. What a douche. The son of Flyers general manager Daniel Briere has received probation from an incident in which he shoved a woman's wheelchair down the stairs at a bar in Pennsylvania earlier this year. Carson S. Briere and Patrick Carazzoni had their applications for accelerated rehabilitative disposition, a first-time nonviolent offenders program approved by the Erie County District Attorney's Office and Judge John J. Meade earlier this week, according to the Erie Times News. Briere played hockey at Mercyhurst University while Carazzi was on the school's lacrosse team. Tell me you're a douche without telling me you're a douche. Lacrosse team. Okay, so medically, what happened to Michael Douglas is that whoever he gave a female mouth hug to down under had human papillomavirus, which is a precursor to a lot of the cervical cancer, things like that. And when he was spelunking, if you will, some of that, herpes stuff came into his mouth area, and he didn't realize he got the herpes, if you will. So he just decided not to do anything about it until it became esophageal and, ear, nose, and throat cancer. So, if you're feeling a little icky after you do the sticky, go to the doctor. I don't know why this has devolved into this right before our Lord and Savior's fake birthday, to replace pagan holidays. But yes, if you're a parent, they have a vax for that they push regardless of, stuff. But here you go. So here's this douche number one's face. They will each receive 15 months of probation, and their charges of second-degree misdemeanor criminal mischief will be dismissed. The incident occurred at Sullivan's Irish Pub in March. The video of the two student athletes shoving the wheelchair down the stairs went viral, spreading across social media and national news outlets. The wheelchair belonged to Sydney Benez, who lost her legs in 2021 after she was in a car accident. What an utter douche. And she has lovely hair. And her freaking wheelchair is awesome. It's red. If she adds flames to it, she can go faster. I'm just saying we can put embroidery patches there. Oh, I'd have lost all of my shit. Okay, so you won't be able to hear sounds, but it says, usually I don't post anything serious on my Twitter, but something happened Saturday night and I just can't stomach the thought of this kid getting away with it. The video below is at Mercyhurst University student and is currently on the Hurst men's hockey team. So let's see what they do in their douchery. So looks like they're both wearing their hats backwards and drinking from not red Solo cups, but Dixie paper cups because they're all stupid. They've not grown beards because their test is low. They can't even have a porn stash because their test is low. And they've decided to steal a wheelchair because they're a-holes. Now, idiot number one is going to decide that idiot number two, what a douche. Could we just strap both of them in and just push allegedly in Minecraft? Allegedly. I mean, I have ever since, I don't remember which political party put it out, but in one of their scaremongering things about, the other side stealing your social security, basically has one guy throwing grandma off the cliff in the wheelchair. To be fair, dinosaurs did it better. Dinosaurs had mother-in-law heaving day. When you got too old, go back and watch Dinosaurs. It is the best series ever. Do not watch the last 4 episodes, though. For some reason, Jim Henson decided to leave you with no hope for life. I don't know why they ended it with all the dinosaurs dying and them, doing like nuclear holocaust on their environment. But holy Jesus, way to end a kid's show. No, the one with the puppets, the giant puppets. But yes, Henson decided to end that with like the saddest ending in the entire world. Oh my God. They got inundated by bugs, so then they decided to fog the bugs with DDT or something. Then yeah, with the walking dinos. And then it kind of caused a nuclear holocaust from what I could remember. And it just ends with like all the dinosaurs huddled and hugging each other, and you kind of know they're all gonna die. And I'm like, Chiblets, Henson. I know you are a bleeding heart lefty who hates, environmental destruction, but holy giblets. Could we end this on a sadder note, please? I mean, do we want to go full The Mist with it, like Stephen King, and just have, Earl unalive the entire family? Chiblets. Yeah, don't watch the last episode unless you feel like ending it all. Holy crap. Allegedly, don't do it. Just, it's terrible. The wheelchair was on top of the stairs because Benez needed to be carried down the stairs to use the restroom at the establishment. It's just the worst damn movie. You get so attached. The guy, look, I'm sorry, but the guy spends the entire movie trying to get to his kid, and then at the end, he's like 5 minutes away from getting rescued, and it's a terrible movie. It's just a terrible movie. And yes, I am scarred, but I'm not going to sue anyone, nor am I going to have a class action lawsuit because I'm a big girl, an adult. So I'm just going to bitch about it on the internet all the damn time. As a normal person, which apparently is what we do nowadays. We don't have constructive live conversations. We just go on Twitter and bitch. And if you want to bitch longer, you go on Reddit, apparently. And you start a forum or whatever you do. I don't understand Reddit. It seems ridiculous. All that was going through my head was, quote, "Man, I hope this was an accident. I hope this wasn't on purpose," Benez said in an interview with YourErie.com in March. Quote, "The head security guard went and saw one of the kids and the hockey player and made him apologize to me, which wasn't very sincere," she said at the time. Just douchey behavior. Just douchies. Briere and Carosi both apologized to Benez in court on Tuesday prior to appearing before the judge. Briere's attorney told the judge his client had received counseling, volunteered for Disabled Veterans Hockey Club, and sought to pay for damages to Benez's wheelchair. Quote, "I am deeply sorry for my behavior on Saturday." Now, what his statement should have said is, "I have a terribly small male appendage. I look like a reject. I don't have the testosterone in my body to grow a beard or wear flannel or cut wood like a normal, alpha man. And instead of being an alpha man who cares about others, uses his strength to protect, I decided to be a total dillhole, beta manlet sneaky fucker. And I feel like I should tell you I have a small penis in front of court. I have a blow-up doll, too, and named it Esmeralda. Don't date real women. I'm afraid of them." Now, this is not what he said. I just added all those up. But Quote, "There is no excuse for my actions, and I will do whatever I can to make up for this serious lack of judgment. I'm sorry I got caught." Briere plans to continue his hockey career in Europe next year. And you know what I think when I think my knee-jerk reaction is that one guy still skating in Europe? You know, you know, skate kick guy, if you will. But then I think I'm a terrible person, so I don't think that way because I'm like, holy crap, Mo. I mean, he was a douche, but he can be reformed. And in other people being douchey and then, trying to make themselves the main character victim, the Las Vegas lawyer of one of the teens that ran over the police chief, the retired police chief on the bicycle, or the cyclist, the ones that were having just a grand old time in the arraignment, flipping the bird, giggling at the victim's family, just generally being giant see you next Tuesdays. He has claimed that, he is getting all the threats. Now, he has asked for the charges against the teen to be dropped. The F, you say? Clark County District Attorney or District Court Judge Jacqueline Bluth declined to drop the charges after hearing impassioned arguments from both the defense attorney and prosecutor. Clark County Public Defender David Westbrook raised concerns about media coverage as the case has gained international attention. Yes, because these jackasses right here, okay, they premeditated. They were like, oh, look at that dude on the bike, after they'd already run into and injured another person on the bike. And he said, and they said, oh, we should go get him. And they sped up and hit a man and unalived him. And they were giggling while doing it. And then when they were caught on a body cam, one of them said, I'm going to be out next Tuesday. I'm a minor. I don't understand what this is all about. And then they proceeded to show their a-holes, showed their taints to the entire world by being absolute jackasses in court when they were being arraigned as adults, or whatever it is, the first thing that they were doing in the courtroom. So the first cyclist, the alleged crime spree on August 14th showed two bicyclists appearing to be intentionally hit in separate locations. The second cyclist, Andreas Probst, 64, did not survive. He was a retired police chief from California. Las Vegas Metro Police identified Jesus Ayala, who was 17 at the time, as a driver who swerved into Probst, and Yasmir Keys, who was 16 at the time, as the passenger who recorded the cell phone video, according to the police. The first cyclist, a 72-year-old man, survived. Keys was the driver and Ayala was the passenger recording the video for that one. The grand jury previously indicted Ayala and Keys on the following charges, which carry enhancement because the victims were over the age of 60. Murder with the use of a deadly weapon, that would be the car, you idiots. Because I know you're going to be like, I didn't have a gun or nothing. Attempted murder with the use of a deadly weapon, again, that would be the car. Battery with the use of a deadly weapon resulted in substantial bodily harm, and 2 counts of duty to stop at a scene of a crash involving death or personal injury. Additional charges without the enhancement include battery with use of a deadly weapon, residential burglary, 3 counts of grand larceny auto, and 3 counts of possession of a stolen vehicle. All of the charges are felonies. Ayala was also charged with gross misdemeanor possession of burglary tools. The teens were accused of stealing 3 cars, all of which were Hyundai models. Again, Kia and Hyundai, you need to work on your models. I don't know what you need to do to fix the kind of gaps in security for those, but that needs to be something that needs to be worked on. Just a thought. The teens were indicted after the case had already received media coverage. Westbrook represents Ayala. So this gentleman with the face tattoo, the Harvard pre-grad, would be Mr. Ayala. Quote, the media coverage in this case has been fast and furious. It has not been just local, but national and international. Hi, sweetie. I also covered this case. I'm semi-professional. Westbrook said in court. Westbrook said he was concerned about bias among jurors and argued that this was an issue Clark County Chief Deputy District Attorney John Gioriandi should address during grand jury proceedings. Quote, the idea that I need to go in front of a grand jury and ask them, quote, hey, have you seen this in the news? Anyone have an issue with this case is ridiculous. There is no procedure to do that. I'm not going to bring every case that the Review Journal decides or Channel 8 decides to do a story on to this chief judge. Giordani responded, that's implausible. Westbrook also said he's received death threats after a photo taken from the previous court appearance showed him and Ayala smiling while they were in court. Yeah, your client was being an utter piece of human garbage, anal fistula. Don't look it up, they're gross, but that's what he was. And you were smiling and you got caught smiling and it looked like you were encouraging that behavior. So what you should have said is my client behaved atrociously. I was encouraging him to not be a giant anal fistula. He insists the photo was taken 2 hours before Ayala was actually before the judge and they were not laughing about the criminal case. Also, a previous court appearance, the widow and daughter of Probst said the teens flipped them off. The teens were also seen laughing and looking at them as they left the courtroom. Quote, moving forward, that will be the expectation that we all treat each other with dignity and respect during this process, Bluth said. The teens acknowledged they understood. So the judge was like, no, y'all are gonna, don't make me have to put you in some shock shackles, which I still feel like we should see just for science. Let's see. Medical examiner Stephanie Yagi testified that she had determined that Probst died from blunt force trauma and ruled his death as an accident. However, a forensic investigator supervisor showed her video footage or showed the circumstances surrounding Probst's death, and she changed the manner to homicide. Keyes was represented by criminal attorney Dan Hill, who said the family of Keyes hired him. If convicted, the maximum penalty the teens could receive would be life in prison without the possibility of parole. By law, the death penalty cannot be pursued against a defendant unless they are 18 years or older at the time of the crime. Life without parole is also taken off the table for defendants under the age of 18. The trial is scheduled for late next year. Crystal Probst, the widow of Andreas, told 8 News Now investigators it's disappointing that the trial isn't scheduled sooner. So I feel no sympathy for this attorney. No one should be sending any threats to this attorney. Do not be a moron. Do not send threats to anyone in real life. That is a crime. That is dumb. Do not be a dumb criminal. However, if you are a defense attorney and you have what we like to commonly call an a-hole for a client, you might want to remind said client that looking like an utter and complete, jackass and a-hole will not help your case. I mean, if they would like to go to prison with parole in 100 jillion years, then that's fine. But, your attitude affects a lot of things. And if you'd like a stink attitude, you're going to get a stank attitude back from the jurors. And I think you're going to not be too happy. Now, the one thing in defense of Ayala, his mother, and I did a story about this, I can't remember what day, his mother came out and said, I don't know why he did this. This is terrible. This is not the way we raised him. I don't even know if God can forgive him. Now, Keyes' mother was the the complete opposite. Like, the media is telling a biased story against my son, and nobody knows the truth, and the truth is going to come out, and my son didn't do anything wrong. I'm like, ma'am, your son videotaped himself running people over. I don't know how the media done did something wrong when he uploaded it to the TikToks, okay? But yes, please continue, ma'am. I'm sure you'll understand. In our last story of this morning, get your stamps now. Get them all now. Buy them if you still. There's this weird thing. It's called a letter and bills, and sometimes you cannot pay them online, and you have to get these weird things. I know my son asks all the time, like, what are we getting? But you get, like, you know, an envelope, and you have to put a sticker on it. It's called a stamp. You also lose your mind when your kids decide that they are going to use stamps as stickers. And is Mo cheap enough to cut those damn those damn stamps out of the coloring book and then tape them on to something? Hells yes, she is. Hells yes, she is. In just 1 month, Postal Service to raise the price of Forever First Class stamps to 68 cents. Now, as a person who really likes, Malay from Argentina, why do we keep subsidizing a failing business? And I don't want to put postal people out of business. That's not what I want to do. I want to make our postal service more efficient so that they can compete. Now, I understand that this is an oxymoron because it is a government, affiliated extension and efficiency. But, maybe we could cut out where they're, monitoring us on or our, internet connections. Yeah, did you know that part of the increase in their budget was for the post office to have its own investigatory agency so they can watch online? Yeah. So you don't have forever to get forever stamps at their current 66 cents price. The U.S. Postal Service on January the 21st will raise the cost of forever stamps from 66 cents to 68 cents. Now, I think we have a class action lawsuit here because we were sold forever stamps at the 66 cents price, and it was advertised as forever. And forever, ever? Forever, ever? I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We were told forever, ever. I can't, y'all. We were lied to by this government. The price hike is part of a rate increase proposed in October and approved by the Postal Service governors in November. The other services will increase too, including Priority Mail, Priority Mail Express, out. And don't take my Aldi's quarter again. I had to buy a laundry basket. Yeah, the increases are part of the Postal Service's 10-year Delivering for America plan, enacted in 2021 by Postmaster General Luis DeJoy. The plan is, quote, absolutely necessary to put the U.S. Postal Service on a path to service excellence and financial stability. Wait a minute. You're telling me that a government affiliated entity wants both excellent service and financial stability? X to doubt in the chat. All right. When it introduced in 2007, the Forever stamps cost 41 cents. Remember, any forever stamps you buy are good for sending mail forever. So a 66-cent stamp bought now can be used next month when the UPS or USPS starts charging 68 cents for them. I can't with you. Well, so I don't know, maybe it was a couple years ago, Aldi's had like these little keychains, and I bought one for myself and Mr. Mo. And Mr. Mo's keychain never seems to get pillaged, but mine does. So quarters never seem to stay there. So I had to go to Aldi yesterday and there was no quarter. So I bought a laundry basket because I always end up going to get more stuff. I end up with more stuff than I'm supposed to get. They have that aisle. They have the aisle of shame where you go down and you didn't even need a whiskey decanter for any reason that you can possibly imagine, but they were $9 and pretty. And Mr. Mo says, why? And you're like, but it's pretty and it was only $9. And he's like, yeah, but why do we need one? I was like, foiled again by Aldi. So there you go, guys. Get all your stamps before the 21st. I do like Ansel Adams, but I'm not going to pay 68 cents for you, sir. Sorry. Dungeons and Dragons. And I may be currently in the town where John Wooden is a saint and god. Now, I didn't know anything about John Wooden until I moved to this particular town. And now we have a middle school. Y'all, let me pull it up. I have to pull it up because in our high school, we have a taxidermied Fry, I am trying to show people something really creepy that my kids have to walk by, and I have to walk by when I go into their damn school. No, I need images. Okay. So let me pull this over here. Let me embiggen this. Let me stop this screen. Let me present this screen. Ugh. I feel like I'm talking with a bunch of marbles in my mouth. Share. No, I don't want to do that. I want to visit this. All right. Y'all, why is this not stop, present, share screen? Okay, so y'all, every time I go into my kids' high school, this is what greets me. This effing thing. A taxidermy wax Coach John Wooden that looks vaguely like President Biden, and his eyes follow you effing around, okay? Now, I understand John Wooden was great at basketball or something like that, okay? And I think he did a lot of basketball-y stuff and things like that. Look, he seemed to have a really good work ethic and everything, but why we have an effing taxidermy wax museum thing in the effing high school, so every time I walk by there, I want to karate chop someone because I think someone is watching me? I'm telling you what, this is not a joke. This is actually in my kid's high school. For reals. I cannot with you guys. Now, they don't dress them up for holidays or anything either, because apparently that's inappropriate. I thought it would make him look a little bit less uncanny valley Joe Biden-y, but no one listens to me. I know, his picture was not enough. No, apparently we have to have a Madame Tussauds weird, taxidermied body in the high school. Yeah, no. No, of all the things that we don't need in the high school. We need to keep teenagers off drugs. Indiana. So, Martinsville, Indiana, because I already have it on my P.O. box. But if you go to Martinsville High School for any reason, you will get to see this glorious, creepy insanity. No, but his eyes follow you, at least in my opinion. But it does seem to defeat the purpose of like, we want to keep kids off of drugs. Because I don't know about you guys, but this would drive me to drink at least if I had to walk by it every day. So, really, what are we teaching the children? Be good at something, really, really good at something, and we will taxidermy the hell out of you and put you in a high school. Actually, wait a minute, life goals. If I get really, really super famous, I'm going to make my high school put a wax museum model of me in the high school with full on Daria outfit and Nibbler hat. Now I'm just thinking of all the ridiculous things that I would make people do if I got super rich. Yes, I do live in Indiana. Uh, it's always there every day, all the time. It is a silent specter that has never been, I think, taken out. Look, y'all, I'm just saying, now that I'm thinking about it, though, I've decided to become rich and famous only to make my high school put a wax taxidermy Madame Tussauds scary Uncanny Valley wax museum thing of me in my high school to freak out freshmen. That, you know, of all the reasons you want to get famous, horrifying young teenage children every day with a wax version of yourself is probably the most interesting. So there you go. That is the last news story. This is what creeps me out every time I have to go to my oldest children's. I know they could have given him like mutton chops or something. I mean, yes, I am. I'd make them decorate me for the holidays. You have no idea. I mean, mine would at least be cool. I'd have a Nibbler hat on. I'd make them play the Gin Blossoms and good music. And, Hootie and the Blowfish. Oh gosh, what's the one with all of the Blues Travelers? I'd make them, I would I would make it animate myself. I'd say curse words once in a while. I mean, I'd be hilarious. This is just scary. Yes, a bronze statue would have been better and less creepy, but no, you get this thing staring at you relentlessly throughout the day. It's honestly, I have asked everyone because we moved here, you know, not realizing that this was the home of John Wooden and basketballology. Not being a sports ball fan, I had no idea. But apparently, John Wooden is a big deal here. And I was like, do you guys always have this thing? And they're like, yeah, it's really cool, isn't it? I was like, why? Oh, well, he was born here and we would, but why? Couldn't you have a portrait? I mean, there are black velvet paintings, there are black light paintings. I mean, if we wanted to scare the children. Anyhoozle, that is the newsy news for this morning. And then tonight, do not forget that Dave has his holiday stream. I will be on it. I am going to go make some chili cheese dip for tacos tonight. We did not do Taco Tuesday, and the kids have been deprived. I'm a terrible mother. I don't know what. I don't know. I guess I am a new hire. I forgot Taco Tuesday. So we are having tacos tonight, and I will be getting in the holiday cheer and joining David. I might help Nicholas with some of his streams, but I have to go make sure that the boys are not unaliving each other because it is 3 days till Christmas, and I'm pretty sure they have eaten just cookies and frosting the last 3 days. So, what time is Dave's stream? Dave's stream starts tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, and we will be singing Christmas carols. Now, Dave has said he will supply us lyrics, but I have told them that in America, we just sing the first line and then we hum. Like, it's like, come all ye faithful. There's a second verse to this effing song. Are you kidding me? What the hell? There's a second verse? Did anyone know there was a second verse to Amazing Grace? The hell is wrong with people? I had no idea. That's kind of how America goes. But he's like, I'll have the lyrics. So I was like, you just don't understand America. Well, JKD Buck, I am actually getting ready to get off of here. Oh, well, I may have some booze, so we might do interpretive dance. Y'all will see I dance like Elaine. It's awesome. And that will be forever immortalized, you know? Why I'm more embarrassed of my dancing than dressing up like Garth with boobs. I need a lot of psychiatric help, apparently. Any hoozle, have a wonderful day. Get your holiday stuff done. Relax if it's not done. You know, whether you get the 900th doodad wrapped or you put it in a gift bag with some tissue paper or you duct tape it in a Walmart bag, the holiday will come. And what really, no, Garth from Wayne's World. When I did the Megan Fox stream as Florida Woman, and I had a mullet, a blonde mullet wig, a Natural Ice t-shirt, and a Hawaiian shirt. I looked, oddly enough, a lot like Dana Carvey as Garth with boobs. And I'm only vaguely worried that that image is being used for bad on Reddit. But, you know, if it floats your boat, she's there for you. Gotta love it. My dad's like, so what do you do on your stream? And I was like, well, I dress up in wigs. And he's like, so what was the last wig you wore? And of course he would have caught me right after I did Megan Fox's thing. And I was like, well, I kind of dressed up like Florida Woman and had a mullet wig and kind of looked vaguely like Garth with boobs from Wayne's World. And he's like, I don't want to see your streams, do I? And I was like, probably not. He's like, that's pretty good. All right, I'm going to go because the boys are being loud. But I will be back for the Christmas stream if I'm not helping out other people. It was uncanny. I could have been his sister from the same mister. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Have a great day. Get your stuff done. Relax. Cut yourself some slack. It's the holiday season. Maybe not everything will get done, but the holidays will still happen. It's not about all the pomp and circumstance and everything else. It's just about being with the people you love and maybe having a couple adult beverages. You know, I'm not saying, but I'm saying. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.